All right. Last night, Prime Minister said that there would be a national inquiry into the grooming gang scandal. It's going to focus on the race of the perpetrators. When do you expect that to start?
There will be the publication of the Casey review this week, and as the Prime Minister said yesterday, we want to get going with that as quickly as possible. Now, in the last year, since we came to office, when we came to office, there were over 200 outstanding recommendations from the J review, which was a national inquiry which took 7 years. The previous government had not been implementing those. We've been cracking on and implementing those. Convictions are now at a record high, and the Prime Minister asked Louise Casey to do a rapid review to see what else we could do. She has said to make sure that these local inquiries that are up and running work properly, that we have a national inquiry alongside that, and we are accepting all of Louise Casey's recommendations, including that one.
Prime Minister says he's read Louise's report from cover to cover, read every word of it, and that has apparently changed his mind. What is in her report that we did not know before that justifies a change of heart?
Well, we'll see the report this week. I haven't yet had a copy of the report. Well, look, we'll see the report this week, but the Prime Minister is saying, even ahead of that he will accept all of her recommendations, including the need for a national inquiry to sit alongside those local inquiries that are already ready. But let me just say this, Trevor, because with local inquiries, they don't have the statutory powers, and we need to make sure that people are compelled to give evidence. That's one of the reasons, because people are not coming forward to give that evidence.
But he, the Home Secretary, Safeguarding Minister, were all pretty clear and specific that they did not think such an inquiry was needed. So they must have been wrong, or they have found out something they did not know before. Which is it?
Well, Louise Casey, when she started this review for the Prime Minister, said herself that she didn't think there was a need for a national inquiry. She has left no stone unturned in her rapid review, and she has now changed her mind and believes that there should be a national inquiry. And the Prime Minister has got huge respect for Louise Casey, has followed her recommendations, and there will be that national inquiry. But that's going to be published this week, and the Home Secretary will speak to it.
So when it's published, will there be some sort of apology to all of those who were criticised by ministers as talking total nonsense, I'm quoting here, and misinformation, and those who were more or less accused of racism for raising this issue?
The most important thing is getting justice.
Well, no, this is what I've asked you is the most important thing.
Well, no, Trevor.
For many people who were criticised in that way.
Trevor, what is the most important thing here?
Of course, it's the position of the victims. I understand that.
It is the victims, and it's not people's hurt feelings about how they've been spoken about. The most important here is the victims of these evil crimes.
But the reason it matters is because those people who raise this issue on behalf of victims who cannot often speak for themselves were accused by government ministers of, quote, total nonsense, misinformation and racism. So actually, surely that's important as well.
I think the most important thing is the victims themselves. And we have been busy as a government this last year implementing the 200 or so recommendations of the previous inquiry. Convictions are now at a record high. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, is always focused, whether it's on this or other issues, on what practical things can be done to make sure that justice is always delivered.
But you see, this has to be dealt with properly to make sure this doesn't happen in future. Presumably there are going to be some lessons learned here about the way ministers respond to these issues.
Well, the Prime Minister, when he was Director of Prosecutions, he brought the first convictions in Rochdale. Louise Casey, when she did her review in Rotherham, uncovered what was going on there. So I think the Prime Minister's got a good track record in this area. The first convictions, he, unlike the previous government, is implementing the recommendations of the J review. And now we will go further and have alongside these local inquiries and national inquiries. So we do learn lessons